Este video es para agradecer al senador Alex Padilla, que es quien reemplazó a la ahora Vicepresidenta Kamala Harris en el Senado de los Estados Unidos. Él representa al Estado de California y es el que introdujo la Reforma Migratoria para Trabajadores Esenciales. A la fecha, es el senador que más ha tenido que ver con que la reforma migratoria sea más amplia posible y que haya sido incluida dentro del plan de infraestructura del presidente Biden. Al igual, él está apoyando a los TPS, a los DACA y a los trabajadores agrícolas. Aquí el video, empezamos.
We're here to talk about the Citizenship for Essential Workers Act, what it is and why it's important. So here's the basic idea, and who are undocumented. They risk their lives, they risk their health, they risk their safety during this crisis in order to keep our country running. And they also live in fear of deportation. Right now, they have no pathway to citizenship, and this legislation says that is not right. It lays out a plan and a pathway to citizenship for these essential workers. So, Alex, this is the first bill that you have introduced as a United States Senator. Woohoo! Can you talk just a little bit about the 5 million undocumented immigrants who served in essential roles during the pandemic?
Sure, and let me just say it's an honor to be working with you, Elizabeth, on this very first bill. As a proud son of immigrants, this is personal to me. I do believe immigrants deserve our respect, they deserve dignity, and for the more than 5 million undocumented but essential workers as recognized by our federal government, they deserve the security to live without fear of deportation.
Joaquin and Ted, what would this legislation mean to people across this country who at this moment are both physically and emotionally exhausted from the trauma of the past year, and on top of that, are living in fear of deportation?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a lifesaver, as y'all mentioned. These are people, y'all remember at the beginning of this pandemic, especially when a lot of us had, including myself, had the luxury to actually stay home and work. But everybody was so fearful of going out and being in crowds and being around other people. And these are folks that were going out to the meatpacking plants, healthcare workers, grocery store workers, and others. So it would just be a lifeline for them.
So let me start off by saying that there is a conceptual basis for the law that we're trying to grapes, bell peppers, lettuce, and other fruits and vegetables that my family makes sure other Americans have to eat can't be harvested on Zoom. For nearly an entire year, farm workers have risked their lives to produce food in the pandemic. What we're seeing here are folks who are risking their lives to make sure that other Americans can live their lives. That's why we need to get this bill into law.
There's one, a gentleman named Javier, who is an actual frontline workers like me have built our lives here. I'm blessed to be a father to a beautiful baby girl who's also a U.S. citizen. And we want to make sure that while we're caring for others in our communities, we can access a path to citizenship so that we can stay safe and be together with our families and be here in this country where we belong.
When I was growing up, for 40 years, my father worked as a short order cook. And for the same 40 years, my mom used to clean houses. People like my parents, that's what I see when I see the millions of families around the country that you said, are working, are sacrificing to keep the rest of us safe, to keep the supply chain moving. Sadly, it's the same families that you see waiting in lines that's slowly improving. It's not just numbers when we say it's 5 million undocumented essential workers. It's people, it's families like ours.
It is a reminder. These are the people who showed up to work, and these were the people who showed up even when there was an outbreak right there in their town, in their plant. They showed up over and over and over. For me, this is just a matter of what's fair, and we can create a pathway to citizenship for them. And don't forget, Undocumented workers contribute nearly $80 billion in federal taxes and $41 billion in state and local taxes every year. Often, these are workers who have been here for years already, and yet, even after all of this, they still don't have a clear path to citizenship. It's just not right, and we can fix it.
And you know what else, Elizabeth? Make it an even stronger case. We know, history tells us, the data tells us that when eligible people become citizens, there's a net economic benefit for that particular family and for our nation. So morally, it is absolutely the right thing to do, but it's also in our nation's economic interest.
I like that. Both ways. It is in our moral interest and our economic interest. And this pathway to citizenship can be part of President Biden's next rescue plan. Well, we got a lot of great Democrats in the House and the Senate who are partnering with us on this, and we're going to be pushing the Biden administration to include a pathway to citizenship for essential workers in the next relief package. So, thanks guys for joining me today. I gotta say, it is an honor to fight alongside you.